A long time ago, when humans still lived in caves and evolution was just beginning, the planet was ruled by giant monsters that are now only fossils. You might have heard something like this, but the truth is a bit more complicated. Hello everyone, most dinosaurs, for example, were about the same size as a human or even smaller. The blue whale, which scientists say is the largest animal that ever lived, is as recent as we are. Despite this, the typical image that most people have of that time is not completely wrong, as there were monstrous beings like the Patagotitan and Titanoboa that really existed. Today, we will show the most monstrous animals that ever lived. What kinds of monsters walked on our planet? Let's find out. First, the Megatherium. The modern sloth is a friendly and somewhat funny animal. It is a relatively small and slow-moving mammal. But the truth is that, until recently, it had a scary relative that would cause great panic instead of joy. Imagine a sloth the size of an elephant or even bigger standing in front of you. That's what a Megatherium was like. Among the animals we will present, the Megatherium is the most recent, even newer than the Australopithecus. Its last species went extinct about 15,000 years ago. It lived in the Americas and, despite its scary appearance, was a herbivore and very peaceful. But with such sharp claws, nobody would want to be hit by its hands or paws. Secondly, Patagotitan. Now, a question. What was the largest dinosaur that ever existed? Many of you will probably answer Tyrannosaurus rex, but that answer is incorrect. Paleontologists have confirmed the existence of dinosaurs much larger than the Tyrannosaurus. It is believed that the largest among them was the Patagotitan, found in Patagonia, Argentina. In 2008, scientists estimate that a young Patagotitan was about 30 to 38 meters long and weighed between 50 to 69 tons. This means it was 3 times bigger than a Tyrannosaurus and 5 to 6.5 times heavier. It probably wouldn't even notice if it stepped on a human. Next is the Arthropleurer. Do you dislike centipedes, insects that crawl, and other disgusting arthropods? If so, we know exactly what your worst nightmare is. We present to you the Arthropleurer. It lived from the end of the Carboniferous to the beginning of the Permian in what is now North America and Scotland. It likely also lived in Germany, Poland, and Belgium about 345 to 295 million years ago. The smallest species of this giant centipede was about 30 centimeters long, while the largest species reached an incredible 2.5 meters. The Arthropleurer is considered the largest terrestrial invertebrate that ever existed. Thanks to the abundant oxygen in the atmosphere at that time, it could grow to such a size. But in later geological times, including today, a giant vertebrate like this could not exist. It would quickly suffocate. Following that, Geckalopterus. Let's go back even further in time to find another monster that became a mere fossil. Look at this crab that could probably easily tear a human apart. It's called Geckalopterus. To be more precise, Geckalopterus was not a crab but a relative of a primitive arthropod that lived in various aquatic regions from the Ordovician to the end of the Permian. This giant creature lived in the late Devonian, around 400 million years ago. Among the specimens that scientists have studied, the maximum size reached about 2.5 meters, but theoretically, even bigger ones could have existed. Interestingly, the sea scorpion may have been one of the first species to breathe air on land. Some scientists believe it could stay on land for several hours. Just imagine you are walking on the beach when suddenly a giant scorpion appears in front of you. Scary, right? Afterward, Gorgonops. During the Permian, about 250 million years ago, before dinosaurs appeared, the Gorgonopsid was the most dangerous predator. This primitive theropsid, which looks much like a scaly reptile, terrorized herbivorous animals until the end of that geological era. The largest species among the Gorgonopsids was our friend the Inostrancevia, which lived in what is now Russia. It is believed to have been over 3 meters long and weighed around 300 kilograms. If a helpless human encountered a monster like this, their only chance of survival would be to run away immediately. Interestingly, both its appearance and the structure of its teeth are very similar to saber-toothed teeth that appeared much later and are not related in any way. Scientists call this phenomenon evolutionary convergence, where beings that have no genetic connections but have a similar lifestyle develop similar features in the same ecological niche. Additionally, Pelagornis sandersi. About 25 million years ago, in South Carolina, USA, there was a bird called Pelagornis. This area is famous in the scientific world for being home to one of the largest flying birds that ever existed on our planet. With its wings spread, it measured between 6 to 7.5 meters and weighed 40 kilograms or more. Even with such a huge size, it could really fly, and considering that such a creature was probably carnivorous, we feel sorry for its prey. On top of that, its beak had spikes similar to teeth. Can you imagine how terrible the presence of this flying monster was? Surely nobody would want to encounter a creature like this during a peaceful walk in a wild forest. Probably the only one that could fight it would be Argentavis. Argentavis weighed over 70 kilograms and, with its wings extended, measured between 5 to 6.5 meters long. Like Pelagornis, it was also a carnivorous predator. If these two species fought, it would surely be thrilling. But we would probably never have the chance to see something like that because Argentavis lived in Argentina about 9 million to 6.8 million years ago, a long time after Pelagornis. Next, Kelenkin. Next, we want to present another species, the main monster with legs from the family Ferustricidae. This giant flightless bird appeared in what is now South America 62 million years ago and quickly took the place of the dinosaurs that had gone extinct millions of years earlier. After that, they survived for a really long time, with the most recent confirmed species being just 18,000 years ago. The extinction of these birds was not caused by humans, but by a war against carnivorous mammals. About 2.7 million years ago, when the Isthmus of Panama was formed, they began to move to South America. The struggle to conquer their position in the ecosystem lasted a long time, but in the end, the giant birds lost. The most notable among the Ferustricids is a bird called Argentavis. They lived about 15,000 years ago in Patagonia. Its skull alone was over 70 centimeters long, and it stood about 3.2 meters tall. There's no doubt that when it reached its prey, it would deliver a fatal blow with its giant beak. Probably no creature could survive after its deadly attack. However, some say it mainly fed on the carcasses of other creatures and terrified its rivals with its terrible appearance. Finally, Titanoboa. This giant snake called Titanoboa lived in Colombia about 60 million years ago. It is speculated to have reached up to 12 meters in length and sometimes weighed over a ton, making it the largest snake that ever existed. It is classified as a relative of the current boa subfamily and could theoretically constrict and strangle almost any prey. They lived after the extinction of the dinosaurs, but if they had lived at the same time, even giant lizards might not have been able to confront them. Curiously, despite being so powerful, the Titanoboa apparently preferred to eat fish. And that brings us to the end of today's video. Thank you for watching. We still have many prehistoric monsters to show you. Scientists have confirmed the existence of many monsters on our planet over hundreds of millions of years after the Cambrian, both terrestrial and flying. If this video does well, we will bring you a second part. Please like and subscribe to let us know if you would like a continuation. We look forward to your comments saying you want more. So, we will say goodbye until next time. Bye.